Hello, Irvington Community Elementary School families. This is Mrs. Dehner, your principal, and I'm here with a brief e-learning tutorial for you, just in case your student has to be quarantined and switch to e-learning for any period of time, or in the unfortunate event that there are any school-wide shutdowns and that a significant number of our students have to switch to e-learning at any given time. I'm actually logged into another device as a student, and so I'm going to be screen sharing as that student and showing you exactly what the student experience looks like. The very first thing you're going to see when you log on to the student computer, it's going to ask you for your login credentials. You might have a QR code printed on a little index piece of paper, and if that's the case, you just hold it up in front of the camera of the computer and it will read your student's login information. Otherwise, you can just click on where it says sign in with another account and type in your student's username and password to log in. Once you're logged in, your computer is going to default to going to what is called the Clever portal, and that's going to take you to everything that you need in order to access your students' e-learning apps. So let me switch and screen share as a student. So when I'm logged in as the student, the very first thing that's going to pop up for me is called the Clever portal. Now, the order of the apps might be a little different for each student, but basically what you're going to see will be all of these little icons that are the quick buttons that your student is going to need. So let's just take a look at a couple of these and what you might need. The most important one that you need to find is called Google Classroom. So if we scroll down a little bit, it's right here. It looks like a little green chalkboard with a yellow border. And your student should automatically have been added to their teacher's Google Classroom. So this student happens to be in Mr. Blasco's class that I'm using as a sample. And so I can join Mr. Blasco's class and I can see announcements from Mr. Blasco with any assignments that have been given to me for the day. Sometimes my teacher might include a link right here where I can join my teacher through a Google Meet. They might include announcements, schedules, or other important information. In the older grades, we sometimes use this classwork tab to submit classwork right here in Google Classroom. I'm going to click here and switch back to the Clever portal and show you a couple of different apps. Our older students oftentimes will use Google Drive. This is the web version of Microsoft Word, Excel, Sheets, etc. So you might need to access this. And every once in a while, your student in an older grade, their teacher might send them an email through Gmail. Right now, I am logged in through Google Meet. That's this little icon right here that has a little speech bubble and a camera. So this is going to be very important for your student to be able to access Google Meets. Your teacher will be scheduling times to meet live with your student, either for an assigned session or for a check-in at the end of the day. If the teacher has been in class all day, but your student maybe is quarantined and they need to get together to go through some things. So when you go to Google Meet, the very first thing that it's going to ask you for is a code or nickname. The teacher will provide you with that code. You'll type in that code and then join the meeting with your teacher. Once you are logged in with your teacher, your screen will look something like this. You'll be able to use this little arrow right here to present. You'll be able to use this little hand icon to raise your hand. And there will be a little chat feature over here in the corner where you can submit questions and other things. You can also make sure that your student knows where to find the mute and the camera off button. This will be very important when they're on a live session with other students so that they can be muted and everyone can hear the teacher. Also within the Clever portal, you'll see several apps that we use varying by grade level. For example, in our technology class, we have been using code.org and also learning.com. These are both for our technology class. In 1st through 5th grade, we use HMH Think Central for our reading textbook. If your student doesn't have their reading book, you can click right here to launch HMH Think Central, log in as the student. And here you'll be able to access the digital textbook and all sorts of other activities for our reading book. Your student can also go to typing.com to practice their typing skills. And then varying by grade level, we have a few apps that we use. We have Seesaw, mostly used in kindergarten through second grade. Your student will click on Seesaw and then launch any assignments that have been assigned to them. Within Seesaw, you'll be able to see what has been assigned to you. You'll be able to click and drag and complete the assignment as it's been given by your teacher and then submit. You also, depending on grade level, if you scroll down, you might see Prodigy. Some of our teachers like to assign some fun little activities on Prodigy that students can practice math and reading. And also in the older grades, you might see Extra Math. That is exactly what it sounds. It's extra math practice. Or you might see Study Island or Freckle. So pay attention to the assignments that your teacher gives you for how to access each of those things. In order to be counted present for the day, if you are an e-learner, then you will need to complete at least one e-learning assignment that your teacher has given you for the day. And if your teacher has assigned you to any Google Meets for the day, you need to attend your Google Meets in order to be counted present. If you have any questions about how to successfully complete e-learning, whether you are quarantined or there is some other situation that requires you to conduct e-learning, please contact your teacher by email or directly through Google Classroom. Thank you.